So I'm gonna add a full video on how to exactly create new relationship in the CMDB. And the secret is basically use CMDB drivers. So here in this interface, this is a CMDB driver. And you log in by, well, if you don't know how to log in, you probably shouldn't be using it. So once you know how to log in, you want to create or first export your class. So the class export is done um, first like this. You want to see get class if it's there. So here I'm looking for class called BMC specific, which is a relationship between base element and base element with a master class or parent class BMC dependency. So as you can see, this relationship was already created, and what I'm showing here is how to do it, how to make sure. So first you want to export it. So you export it and it will look like this. So here's the entire file, and I added one field there just to show how to add that. So once you have it imported and you run the get class, it should show up in the CMDB driver. If it doesn't show up in the CMDB driver, then it didn't work, and you need to keep working until it does. So once it's imported in the CMDB driver, it will be available in a form called class. So obj_str class is the table or schema that AR schema actually stores anything about CMDB classes and attributes. So in this case, we have a system with an ID, and we need to make sure that we have a parent, which is dependency. And you can see here's BMC specific, BMC dependency, and this child of base relationship. So I have to make sure that this class is here and it's active. If it's not active, if it says like inactive or anything else, you want to make sure it actually says active. Okay? So you may have two copies of this, one that's active and one that's pending. If you have a pending class, delete it and restart your error server because it will reload it. And after that, it will be available here in your Dev Studio in a base development mode. So that field right here is available and it has to be visible. So you have to go check and go into the add remove fields in view and then look on the right side to make sure that the field is listed in there. If it's not listed in there, you have to add it there from the left side. So you select it and move it to the right. So once it's in there, fields in view, you want to click on OK and make sure that it's visible. So visible is this field over here, visible, and it shows true. So if it's not true, then you need to make sure it's actually says true. So here true is saved, and it's saved in base development mode. You will also need to go into the overlay mode, which is the best practice mode. Now, why BMC created any of this stuff is beyond me, because this was just decided by people that really, I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, once you create it, you want to be able to find that field. So here, you want to find this field in the field table. So here, select field from field where this ID equals that ID that I pulled out of the Developer Studio. Will show that there is one record like that. It's called specified item and has a field ID of this. And then also under obj_str class, we want to make sure that it's there. So here, obj_str attribute definition, there's that field. And we're also gonna look in the schema and field table to see if it's in there, and it's all in there. Okay, schema type is 2, core version is 1, and whatever you get from there. So once you have all that, you want to switch to best practice and find that same field in that interface. So I don't save this because I already had it saved. So here I go into the form. BMC.core, BMC specific, which is the class that I created. Okay. And it will be listed there twice. The reason it's there twice, it's because there's an overlay on it. And for whatever reason, BMC always creates an overlay. Once you have one single overlay created, it will always create an overlay. So you need to go into both forms. You need to find that field and put it in the fields of view. You need to make sure that it's listed in there. So in attribute definition, right, this right here will match that field ID. So specific item is listed in there, it's editable field. And if I actually open up that second copy, which is an overlay with the underscore, it's an overlay joined. I want to find that field in that list. I want to make sure it's there. So here it is. And I'm going to click on the properties of that particular field by showing all list, all fields in the view, and select that field. Specified item. The form is actually loading here on the left side, but the field ID, the details that I'm looking for is hidden over here. So when I double click it, it will just show me the properties, and there's a database field that it will define whether it's displayable or not. So display shows that is visible. So visible has to be true in order for that for you to be able to see the field. The class will be always available in the user tool and also in HTML server, or the main interface class. So here it is in the user tool, and it's searchable. So I looked for BMC asset. I have no relationships in this particular table, so nothing will show up.